Welcome back to the league that means nothing on Go Again Gaming.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, and welcome back to the league that means nothing here on the Go Again Gaming channel. We're your hosts, Kyle
and Callum,
from the Cup of TCG channel. Well, we're crossing threads, crossing wires here, and we've got another banging game for you coming up. It's round number 2, and the high seas are very much upon us. Two feisty captains in Gravy Bones and Marlynn looking to gain control of the seas of Wraith. Finley Shepherd joins us once again. He is locked and loaded on the newest Ranger hero, looking to shoot some allies and, well, honestly, continue pumping damage to face with the harpoon wielding even Ranger. Who else have we got, Callum?
Yeah, we got Justin over on Gravy Bones, a veteran Runeblade player.
Very different.
Self-proclaimed Runeblade main. Started the game in Uprising with Viserai. Now moving on to Gravy Bones, top 8 a few PQs, RTNs with Viserai, Florian, that sort of stuff. Self-proclaimed Armory Terror. So see if he can put those skills to good use on Gravy Bones.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's kick this game off.
This game in League That Means Nothing is brought to you by yet again another returning sponsor in Green Tree Sports Cards, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's main card shop for sports cards and trading card games, including favourites, Flesh and Blood, of course, but also doing Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering as well. It also hosts Armory Nights at 6:30 p.m, but also has a variety of other TCG events like Yu-Gi-Oh! On Thursday, Pokemon on Friday, and Magic the Gathering Commander on Friday as well. But they're also going to be doing a Flesh and Blood 10K weekend on November the 1st to the 2nd, so make sure you check them out on all their socials and keep up to date, because that's not an event you want to miss. That's Green Tree Sports Cards.
Turn 1 looks like, well, the way that Finley is hand shuffling, he is probably going first here against Gravy.
Probably what you want to see as the Marlin player, right? You want to be
can confirm.
Want to be going first, not letting Gravy put any of these horrible allies on board straight away.
Lovely Mark Paul signed Quiver of Rustling Leaves. I know that because that is my Quiver of Rustling Leaves. Double pitch there looks like a yellow and a red to be able to reveal. Unfortunately, a premeditate, so just revealing the top card of deck instead of actually loading it in face up. Does need to be an arrow, so a Codex of Frailty being pitched to the bottom and a Conqueror of the High Seas, so two pretty strong cards that Finley's losing early on, but I suppose Codex basically useless until you begin blocking. Yeah.
I mean, this game could go to distance, right?
Absolutely.
I'm sure this isn't going to be a quick one, so I'm sure we'll see those again later. Probably not overly happy to not get an arrow fired off on turn 0, but probably quite hard to load the arsenal turn 0, right?
Yeah, I mean, that is literally why Quiver of Rustling Leaves is in the deck, right? For that turn 0, either on your opponent's turn and trying to high roll them, or on your turn, and trying to high roll them and getting an arrow. We are going to be seeing a golden tipple discarding a limpet. So not only are we making a gold, getting an ally into the grave, but I believe, my eyes, I can't tell what colour that golden tipple is.
It's chances are it's probably a blue tipple. We quite like the blue tipple in Gravy Bones. You get to close a combat chain, get to get that blue card in.
Very true.
Graveyard.
Oh, it was actually yellow. Down to 38.
Oh, okay. So we're possibly a 6 tippling deck, maybe even a 9 tippling deck.
Whoa, let's not lose our heads. Having a quick look at the equipment while we're just looking at, I suppose, 2 damage on board, nothing crazy. Only thing that's really jumping out with me right now, Justin, is on Balance of Justice on Gravy. Not a headpiece that I'm too familiar with seeing in this deck. I suppose into Marlin it makes sense. Those 3 of a kind turns can be absolutely debilitating, so being able to get some defensive value and offensive value by drawing a card off, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I think it's making its way into a fair few Gravy lists now, right? You've got pretty, from what I hear, it's pretty good in the Syndra matchup, some of the ninjas, maybe even into to the Gravy Mirror, maybe crack a load of gold possibly. So yeah, I mean, Tipple, good start, gets your Gravy hero ability online, which we're seeing used straight away here. But yes, this Necromancer Equipment Suite's pretty nice, Carl. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty good, and notably we're only running one piece of it as well. We're only running the dead threads, but it is the EA one, and that, as we know, is the most important thing. Chum going to be going into the grave here as well, off the back of the gravy trigger. A give no quarter played. This is huge. So allowing him to play out the limpet for free, attack with the limpet as well, and then almost certainly get the Chum out off the back of it also.
So we're going to see a 2 ally turn here.
Yeah.
Carl, pretty nice start for Gravy right off the back of that give no quarter. How easy is it for Marlynn to deal with multiple allies?
Incredibly difficult unless you have Endless Arrow. Now, Endless Arrow, I'm sure many either Ranger players or players who've been around for a little bit will be very familiar with. A 0 for 4 that simply says on hit, return this card back to your hand, allows you to effectively have a weapon as a Ranger for the first time ever, right? Allowing you to have an infinite way of killing these allies, but it is only 4, so to be able to kill a Chum, you do need to buff it some way, and well, you can pitch 2 cards into your Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon, but it's still not great because you're having to commit so much and take a lot of damage in the aforementioned turn. Chum is going to be coming in here, Mage Master Boots being cracked on turn 1 just to push a little bit of damage, and this has the Hook on hit as well. Now, notably, Hook not going to be destroying itself because, well, Golden Tipple made that gold early on.
Yeah, nice little bit of tried to force some interaction here, right, with the Hook, but Finley's going to say, you know what, I'll eat that. I've got to keep my cards to clear your board, or maybe even send a big harpoon face, potentially. Very, very true.
I mean, there is kind of like 2 different trains of thought, right? You can either go for this, I'm going to clear the board, and, well, unfortunately, my turn is going to be a single attack only, clearing an ally, or we can go, I'm going to pump. We're going to kind of go crazy. We are going to start with the premeditate here. Card in the arsenal is still face down. So Justin getting a window of priority here to be able to activate Chum if he so wishes. It looks like Finley is potentially baiting him into this here to give him that opportunity to fire it away if he wishes. And premeditate into the Conquer of the High Seas. Now, you usually look at these Ranger pumps and think, oh, well, it's only the arrows, but Premed's a generic pump and affects anything that comes from your arsenal. So we're having a conk coming in for 11 go again.
Yeah, and when we saw the Conqueror pitched on turn 0, we thought maybe like Justin maybe thought, well, at least we won't see one of them for a little while. But no, Finley thought, I'll tuck one straight in my arsenal.
Yeah, why not? Really shows how difficult that opening hand was for Finley then, right? Because you're looking at potentially, 2 Conquerors and a Codex. Yeah. So, yeah, unsure if he drew it next to the Premeditate or if this was just a, well, damn, my hand doesn't really do too much turn.
But look, I mean, we've got a Conqueror for 11. It's going face. The hit trigger is not going to matter because we expended the whole hand on the side of Gravy last turn. But, I mean, it's 25%. Bit more than 25% of the life total.
That's
right?
just straight maths. And, well, we are going to be seeing Conqueror hit. No Conqueror effect available this time round, but Ponder going to be created. This does have go again, but with only a single card in hand, and notably Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon not loading like every other arrow in the Game of Flesh and Blood. Every other bow in the Game of Flesh and Blood. This is just going to be Finley's turn. Taking 8 to return 11. And, oh, you know what? I eat my words. Hello. A 3 of a kind off the back of it as well. Looking for the top deck of dreams. Are we going to see a harpoon and a couple of blues to boot for Finley to be able to return?
So we've got 3 Marlynn triggers on the stack here. Going to be able to load an arrow face up. It is a blue searing shot.
Not
which
ideal.
Is not really what you want to see, but I mean, is it going to kill Chum? Maybe.
It could very well kill Chum. It's not a bad shout as well, and it looks like, that is... I think Finley's thinking about it. Is it targeting Chum?
Chum ability going to be activated in response to the shooting of the searing shot.
I suppose just to get something in there?
Yeah, possibly. Even if it's not targeting Chum. Looks like it is, though.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. I mean, once you're given that opportunity to be able to kill him, then, you should kind of go for it. We're also seeing that Finley's ending this turn on an arsenal, right? Not only from the Ponder, but also the additional card that was drawn from the 3 of a kind. So a minor IP one, but having those options in Marlynn to be able to arsenal, hopefully a harpoon, is really what you need.
Well, and also there's some good utility in these cheaper blue arrows, right? Thanks to our brand new Ranger legendary leg equipment in Sea Lace Sarong.
We out here with Sea Lace Sarong. Card, a little bit of a meme initially, but I've come to love it. It's not just perch grapplers, Callum.
It's free action points. What are you talking about?
Listen, don't get me started. It's good. It's good.
It's no dead threat.
Ain't that the truth? Sawbone is going to be entering his way into the grave as well. Still early doors in this turn though, so no blue committed so far. We've already seen one give no quarter, but well, how about a chart the high seas instead, revealing the top 2 cards of his deck, and not only is one of them an ally, the other one's a blue.
I'm pretty sure that's what this card says that you're supposed to do.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure this card makes you pitch a blue from the top of your deck and discard now.
Yep.
I don't know if I've seen it ever go there another way, to be honest.
Believe it or not, you know what would be really good if that's just what it did. But how about I give you a gold for getting an ally in your grave as well? How about that?
Yeah, okay. And it puts a blue in the grave. Grave is a cool guy.
Grave is a cool guy. Guys, I do have a chart of the high seas for sale. If anyone needs it, please message me on Discord. Cool. So Justin just kind of calculating the numbers here. 2 cards in his hand, 3 allies face up in his grave.
So many options here for...
and a call to the grave as well. Didn't even need to use the chart.
I was going to say, are we going to go get that blue back alley break line that we saw pitched earlier on? Only a couple of cards from the bottom of the deck. And yeah, it's a nice little toolbox card in this deck to allow us to go a little bit wider with the allies, which otherwise would be pretty action point starved.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're up to 2 AP right now. Notably, the second we play one of those allies, the AP will get refunded due to a blue entering. And of course, that being... Is it Gravy's ability or is that the compasses?
I think it's on the compass.
Okay.
The first watery grave card you play from your graveyard each turn, getting go again. Rigor Mortis, a nice big chunk of damage presented here, and not easy for a deck like Marlynn to clear, right? These small 1 health allies causing not quite the efficient clear from an action point light deck like Marlynn.
I agree. I mean, Bar Barrage, maybe, but not Bar Barrage. Shout out to Baby Bell. Yeah, it's definitely a difficult one for him to be able to clear. Rigor Mortis is going to be coming in for 6 here. Of course, the gold already created this turn off the back of the chart high C, so Finley
still got go again. Still got an action point after this attack here because of the back alley break line. So we could see a 3 chain link ally turn with the Limpet having go again.
We could go this into Limpet into Rigor Mortis,
but it won't be able to swing.
But hey, you get something on the board.
Yeah, 100%. Stick them while you can, and like I say, maybe not worth putting a card in Arsenal if you're worried about just getting conquered again.
Well, this is the good thing, right? Like, at least he's got no action points. No resources floating, and no way of gaining any resources this turn either off the back of this. So yeah, it's just going to be 2, surely, Callum. Right? That's all it's going to be. Oh God, why has he got a chess piece? Oh wow, he's not even using the chess piece. Dreadfeds is not going to be required. We're getting the Sawbones out instead.
Let's be careful how we talk about Dead Threads card. I know it's a pretty good card, but
listen.
Tunic every turn sounds pretty good to me.
Hey, would you take that? I'd take that in my deck.
I mean, it was pretty good in Kasaya. I think it would be good again. Back over to Finley's side here. Tunic coming up to 3. Let's see if we get a. We are going to get a Sea Lace Sarong activation here. What did we pocket last turn?
Something tells me a 0 for 3. A blue arrow, probably 0 for 2, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing in Pathing Helix. Really, really good arrow to get in against Gravy, because it doesn't care what you hit; it simply requires you to hit. So opens up some reload options here. We could very well see Limpet get smacked in the face with this one, but most likely going into the Rigor Mortis, because Sawbones on the field will be mitigating at least one of that damage, so need to overpower it if possible.
Yeah, shame we can't buff it just a little bit, because the two damage on that Pathing Helix is not quite gonna cover kill our Sawbones pirate mate here with the 1 prevention on Sawbones. So we'll see where it's gonna head.
So we'll go into the Rigor purely for the value.
That's 6 damage ally off.
Bye. We do indeed get our reload trigger from Pathing Helix. So 0 for 2, clear an ally, reload. Cross Wrap going to be used here. Redfin Harpoon revealed face up, and now, well, opting the top of the deck. 3 cards in hand, I believe. I don't think anyone was blocked with last turn, so many options here for Finley. Could very well just be pitching 2 blues into the Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon to be able to send this for, it would be 8 overpower, which isn't too sad, to say the least.
Not the most relevant on hit against Gravy Bones,
true.
unfortunately, discarding a red card, but hey, you know, does play a few. You might catch a Conqueror.
Very true. It is indeed going to be 2 blues pitched. The gold-baited hook committed here as well. Finley gold starved in this game so far. Now we're going to be coming in for 8 overpower on hits. Justin has to reveal his hand. If there is a red card in it,
Not
Finley
the
can discard
hardest, not the most difficult cover for Justin here. Should he have a nice D-react maybe or something like that? We have the 1 mitigation from Sawbones as well that we can use. But
Sawbones is great.
Notably, if we're tapping Sawbones to mitigate, then we're not getting the swing for
Absolutely.
a lovely 6 on the following turn.
Yeah, important clarification there. Justin didn't commit on the block. Was like, oh, okay, actually, should probably Gravy Bones on the layer step. Should probably a Compass on the layer step here, just to get as much information as possible.
Yeah, sure. So Bodge, not cracked on the 3 of a kind the previous turn. Likely wants to get the defensive value out of it before using it. And look, I reckon there's a good chance that we might resolve another 3 of a kind later in this game. Hopefully.
Well, Finley is praying for it. I think.
Yeah.
you very much need to resolve at least 2 3 of a kinds in this sort of matchup. Ideally, as well, pitch one of them late and. Yeah. Go for it there. Looks like we are going to be getting that 2 defensive value, or not. Or okay, Justin, yes or no?
So we've got the gold-baited hook committed here for Finley. So
yes,
correct me if I'm wrong, but we've not made a gold this turn, have we?
No, we haven't. So no gold generated this turn so far. A little bit of a risk here from Finley, but has already committed that blocking value earlier on in the game, right? So not a complete punt on this arm piece.
Trying to get this gold generation online for Marlynn, right? It's really important to have a little resource of gold to be able to crack to load your arrows with your harpoon not loading.
Yep, absolutely. Blocking 2. So layering the triggers here, creating a gold and stealing one from Justin because gold is under his control.
I think we had any on the side of the board for Justin. However, no reds in hand, unfortunately. 3 yellows by the looks of it, but
that is a lot of yellows.
That is a sea legs that potentially could be discarded to this tipple next turn. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, I have a feeling Finley looking at this already knows what's coming at him. And that is one of the benefits of these harpoons, right? Like, if you do hit with the overpower, sure, sometimes you get to rip a card out of your hand. And the other times, you get to look at the hand and go, cool. So this is what's happening. You got full face-up information. It's super, super important. Justin now down to only a single gold. Yeah. Is that going to be debilitating enough? I feel like 1 gold is really all Gravy needs most of the time.
We'll be making some more with this tipple, as
Absolutely.
we saw last turn. But I'm going to commit the hook, seeing if we can force some interaction here. On hit, another gold. Not bad, if I do say so myself.
It's pretty decent. More AP generation here as well, most likely with discarding sea legs.
Oh,
Never mind, it's another Sawbones.
Going for the more ally-focused game plan this game. It's clearly quite clear to Justin that Finley's going to struggle to clear an ally like Sawbones. So,
and we saw what it required last time, right? It required having a 0-cost blue arrow in your arsenal that you could activate your Sea Lace Sarong on, and then follow up with something else to, well, not even kill the other Sawbones or Limpet that's on, just threatening some damage into face. And still right now, we've got Justin with a very strong board presence and still presenting 2 damage off the back of the golden tipple initially. So the question is, how important is that gold to Finley right now? Because this isn't just Justin's going to create a gold. It is Finley's going to lose one. We know from Marlynn with her activated ability, her triggered ability, cracking a gold to be able to draw a card does also mean you get to reload. We are going to be blocking 2 just to be able to leave Justin down onto 2 gold instead of that 3 he was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, the curve of starting your turn with a blue arrow in arsenal to clear an ally and then present some disruption in face is pretty nice, right?
That's a crazy top deck.
Pretty
port
good.
side exchange,
You've got
discarding the sea
It's
legs.
got the blue activator for Gravy Bones. Missing the Gold Kiss rum, unfortunately.
That is pretty big. That is really unfortunate from Justin. Alas, I'm going to think. Still got some options here. A blue has now entered the grave, so we have options to be able to play those 2 allies that we have available, a Rigor Mortis and another Sawbones.
So notably with this Rigor Mortis here, right, we can play the Rigor Mortis and attack with it if we like, because we've got the Dead Threads resource available to us. Very nice, able to arsenal a card as well.
Dead Threads cracked.
Another 6 damage down line at here.
Yeah, difficult for Finley to deal with this all too much. Wow, a very strong card against Gravy getting blocked with here in the King Kraken Harpoon. King Kraken going to be looking for those non-attack actions, and well, if you've played against Gravy or you are a Gravy, you'll know that all your allies, believe it or not, they're actions and they're not attacks, so they can be discarded to King Kraken Harpoon.
Not sure you're too sad to see your allies go from your hand into the graveyard, but
You're probably fine with it, but I suppose ripping any form of resource is pretty decent, right?
yeah, for sure. So we saw 2 reds blocked with for Finley at the beginning of this turn, right? So
What are the Arsenal? Oh, another conch.
no Sealay Sarong activation this turn, so wonder if this conk is going to go straight face.
Opting to put that card to the bottom of the deck. That tells me it's not a 3 of a kind. It's basically what it comes down to. Is this a power card? No, bottom of the deck.
So what can we do here? We can go Conqueror for 8 go again at the Gravy Bones player.
Oh, is this going to be 7?
So potentially a bit red flooded in that last hand by the looks of it.
That or Finley has a really powerful harpoon.
Blue arrow maybe?
Yeah, blue arrow.
For the Sealay Sarong
There is
activation.
actually a really interesting play that Finley can do here, which is if it is a blue, he could pitch it into the quiver, revealing the top card of his deck to be able to load it face up into his arsenal, giving it go again.
Oh, yeah, like
But then
reaction step
but
plus
then
one
a
go
second
again.
blue has entered, so it goes up to 8 go again. I doubt that's going to be what we're going to be seeing from Finley, but it's a legal play that you can make.
Nice cheeky play.
Oh God!
Blood in the water committed here. See if we get the ally discard. It's a
Indeed.
swabby hit in the graveyard.
So what is this
we
covering?
are covering for 7.
Maybe.
6.
Oh, there goes the hook.
Not what you want to see, but I'm
7
sure,
covered.
I'm sure Finley's happy to get some cards out of the Gravy Bones hand, but this board state is looking pretty scary.
Yeah, you've got to think, what is that card that Finley's opted to, 1, not block with on the previous turn, and 2, just said, okay, fine, I'm going to wrestle it. Alarm bells are telling me that maybe this is our first Endless Arrow.
Possibly.
Gravy Train is very much pumping out steam at this point. Simply a limpet for 2 go again. Pitching a blue swill.
Now, Carl, I've been playing a little bit of Ninja lately
yeah.
myself, and I'm just going to say this Gravy board state looks like an absolute feast for a couple of Kodachis
absolutely.
right here, right? But be very, very nice to potentially present a Whirling Mist Blossom at this Sawbones and all sorts of good stuff. But Marlynn, unfortunately, not afforded the luxury of 2 one-handed weapons with go again.
We
That would be
do
quite nice.
also not have a Mist Blossom. Do you know what would be crazy? A piece of equipment that lets me search my deck for a Mist Blossom. That sounds pretty good.
That does sound pretty good.
I wonder if they make that card. Rigor Mortis coming in for 6 go again here.
I really hope they just don't make that card in the head slot. That's all I'll ask.
6 go again on the Rigor. This is just damage at this point. No on hits, but
One of the scariest on hits in Flesh and Blood is approaching. On hit death.
yes.
So Finley is looking at 6 damage here at 18 life. Another 6 damage
Oh my God,
potentially.
he took it.
Another 6 damage potentially on the Sawbones. This game could be over sooner than we thought.
This is okay. Rethinking the play. Yeah, looks like we are going to be using the gold-baited hook now, just to be able to get that additional value. This turn has functioned.
Did we make a gold this turn?
I don't think we have. Avasti. Oh, did Avasti hit? Avasti did hit. So yeah, we've made a gold.
This is one rich undead captain. I'll
Very
say that
rich.
much.
A lot of gold in his booty.
What?
Anyway.
Balance of Justice sitting on the board uncracked. We'll see if there is ever an opportunity to crack the Balance of Justice.
2 majestic harpoons blocked with this time. Is it a codex in his arsenal?
Possibly. Maybe just too many reds in these hands for Finley to get the ball rolling.
It's the worst case scenario. And we've just seen an insane turn here from Justin, right? Where he's been able to convert, was that a single a single blue into that is 14 damage. Yeah.
All thanks to this Go Again on Limpet and the Avast G.
So good.
Giving us Go Again on the Rigor Mortis.
Going to reveal a big game trophy shot from the Arsenal with the Skullbone cross wrap.
So not a blue last turn, so couldn't have activated that Conqueror of the High Seas High Tide effect if we wanted to.
Low tide.
Yeah. Medium tide.
Medium
blue
tide.
and a yellow. Mid tide. It's on its way in.
Get your waders on. Finley, really thinking about this one. Potential power card or maybe fringe support card right now to get him out of this pretty tricky situation. With the exception of Barbarage, there are not any cards that Ranger have access to that can clear 2 allies with ease. We aren't looking at cards like, is it Blow for Blow, which is the limited All-Star. Yeah, could be quite interesting.
We're not doing some testing for nationals the last couple of days, and we've been seeing some Verdance triggers ping 1 million allies all over the place. So
Lord.
Fortunately, Marlyn not having access to an effect like that. Somewhat of a Guardian type ranger,
absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to be paying the 2 for the big game trophy shot, drawing a card, then discarding a card.
That was a Yellowfin Harpoon, I think, entering the pitch zone here. Maybe a Harpoon Finley would have liked to shoot, but again, not wanting to give Gravy a nice little free ally discard as well.
Going to be discarding the Goldfin Harpoon here that was just created off the back of Marlyn's hero ability.
It's a free card.
That is a free card. Gold is the payoff.
Gold, it has always been.
Even when you turn it into other things.
So how are we getting a card into our arsenal as our Marlyn player here?
Well, we've got a trigger right now with the big game trophy shot, right? Because of the draw a card. So we are going to be seeing a bolt and shot loaded. Now, notably, unless Finley has another 0-cost arrow in hand, or hell, a random 1-cost arrow, this is basically going to be the turn. Unsure if this is going face or not. It looks like the way that Justin is thinking right now, it probably is. For 6, Go Again. Not creating a gold on hit, because notably bolt and shot, not a harpoon.
Finley potentially thinking that this board state is unmanageable at this point, and maybe just thinks,
fact,
let me see if I can send this damage at face. Posturing to block with the dead threads here. Potentially a 2-block or 2-block in hand for Justin here.
Got cards in hand.
That is
2 conks.
That is an expensive block.
That is a very expensive block. So 6 being covered. Codex being played. So
that is one way to get a top card into your arsenal.
There it is. So we were talking about those 0 costs or the 1-cost arrows that could potentially come into play here. Notably, the only 0 costs that we have seen are the cheap old blue ones in the Pathing Helix and the Bolt and Shot. Both of them coming in for 2, and this one most likely just going to be killing an ally. Yes, Limpet taken down. And Finley getting a ponder here to be able to bolster up that arsenal just a little bit more. Justin does have a Frauty here, but for some God knows reason, Frauty does not affect allies. So it does not matter.
Did affect the Enigma Wardors though, Carl.
They are weapons.
They were weapon attacks, so some might say...
Oh, okay, it does affect this turn. This is coming in for 7.
Still with Go Again, however.
Yes.
See if we missed the frailty trigger.
I hope we haven't. Nope, there we go. Looks like it's been communicated between the two players. The benefit of, being able to talk.
Yeah. Thank you, Discord.
Blocking for 7 here. The cross wrap has got enough value so far. That is an infecting shot, a bluefin harpoon, and that piece of equipment to be able to get rid of the third Conqueror. That was, damn, hold up, wait. That was a block 6 on Conk into a Conk. That was all 3 Conks in the same hand.
Yeah.
Rigger going to be coming in for 6, no go again, but with the on-hit effect of the gold-baited hook. No gold under Finley's control. 2 being blocked so far, just taking 4, it looks like.
2 and take 4. We're only going to keep 1 card in hand by the looks of it.
Down to 8. Another goal going to be made here, up to 4 for Justin.
But look, I mean, this is what? 6 resources pitched. We've got a Rigor Mortis attack for 6. Finley likely identifying the correct ally to kill last turn, right? This would have been an extra 2 damage if the Limpet with the go again would have converted nicely on this turn.
Limpet is terrifying.
Yeah.
Kill it as quick as you can. Cool. Damage now resolves. Finley down to 8 HP. These last couple of turns, just Finley not really been afforded the opportunity to be able to, threaten enough damage and be able to clear the board at the same time. Counter on Tunic, single card in hand, card in arsenal, no cross wrap available. It's going to be a seafloor salvage, so being able to turn either a Sawbones or a Swabble face down. I say Swabble. It's a Pokemon. Swabby.
Wrong game. Carl.
Very, very wrong game. Either way, ally going to be turned face down. Goal going to be created. Arsenal found for Finley here and drawing up another 4 cards. Does give Justin a 4-card hand with 2 allies on board, though.
Still a scary position to be in for Finley here.
Terrifying.
Not really sure what we can find in this Marlynn deck to get us back into a commanding position in this game.
This is probably a tipple, right? Yeah, activating the gold-baited hook first. Reads tipple every day of the week. A blue tipple, pitching a blue tipple, discarding a Anchor.
Yeah.
Should be 2 floating, not the 3 right now. That's fine.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Ira lately, Carl, and I've been hitting on a few sensors on some gravies, and tipple tends to be a pretty safe name against this deck.
Don't blame you.
You can pick a face-up ally if you think they're potentially going to be resolving it, but tipple sometimes quite a nice little read, the amount that are in these decks.
Absolutely. Cheeky little look at the grave. How many tipples you played? 2. Okay, cool. Tipple.
There's potentially up to 7 more.
Yeah, I'm going to name Tipple, I think. Gravy, draw discard trigger here. Putting another Sawbones into the grave.
Bone zone.
Into the bone zone indeed. Soon to transition from the bone zone to the gravy train. Smacking Marlynn all over the place. So shouldn't have any floating here right now, Justin. But hopefully it doesn't affect the game too much. Dreadfeds is very much available here though, right? Because an ally has gone in, so...
I'm sure as our gravy player, we've got a bounty of resources to pay into all of our effects anyway.
Absolutely. How much does Anchor cost? $1 million?
I believe Anchor is 2.
Okay. Is that an eye? That is an eye of Ophidia.
Finding its way into more and more of these pirate decks.
Oh, absolutely.
Eye of Ophidia.
Card's good.
Yeah, I reckon you're probably right.
Nice and cheap, I've heard as well.
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd bought one of those instead of a Heart Finder, if I'm being perfectly honest.
What did you buy your heart for?
Oh, Icelander.
Was it Icelander?
Long time ago.
God. Back in there. Opting 2 right now is Justin. Quite important to be able to decide what's on top of the deck. A couple of cards which allow you to... Okay.
I believe that was one on top, one on the bottom there for the ops,
indeed.
what we call the old bunk bed situation.
The bunk bed situation I've never heard before in my life.
No, I just made it up.
Can't hear for it.
No.
A cheeky little look at the grave.
Notably, Justin allowed to look at his face down cards. His
Finley just has to remember
his buried allies in this situation. I mean,
Oi.
easier for Justin to look at them considering he's in the room with the cards and Finley's not.
Very true. Big fan of opting your deck and then shuffling your deck.
Yeah, we might see that card again.
Be really funny if Justin just chooses a card that was top of his deck.
Yeah. What are we getting here? With
I was about to say,
Grave?
what are we looking for?
More
AP?
another back alley break line? Are we on?
They're usually on one, right?
Are they really?
At least from a couple of the recently performing decks. I believe Brody was on one.
Sure.
At the Battle Hardened.
Seems like a pretty nice way to turn your call to the graves into a free action point.
Absolutely. And your does it work with Swill as well?
Yeah, when it goes.
It's any zone, right? Any zone from your deck.
Oh no, there is another one.
A second back alley break line is going to be coming into play. So up to 2 AP opens up plenty of opportunities. We have already played an ally from a grave this turn, so the next one played would usually end the turn, but going up to that 2 AP.
Possibly just using both these action points to present as much damage at face.
No, for sure.
As Justin can here. Finley at 8. Not a comfortable position to be at when you're having to block and clear allies. I
mean, if this was Azalea, I'd say this game's over and done with. Most of those cards only block 2, and well, that is the one difference with Marlynn. A lot of them block 3.
Yeah.
Avashi being played just to be able to give this first attack go again.
So are we seeing 3 ally attacks here?
Most likely, yeah. We're going to be coming in for 6 go again. Go again, then resolving, going back up to 2 AP. Bar Barrage is indeed in the deck. Does get blocked with this time round. Sawbone's now going to be coming on in 4/6.
Potentially needed to see this Bar Barrage a couple of turns ago, I think. Coming a bit late in the game, unfortunately.
Another block 6 this time round, and the Dead Threads.
Yeah, 5 more damage at face on the back of this anchor.
Indeed.
And I think we're out of cards in hand for Finley, so...
I think we are. So going to be taking 5 down to 3. Difficult situation here for Finley.
But look, I mean, Gravy's a deck where, you know, we've seen a few of Varsties, we've seen a couple of back alley break lines. There may be a world where not every turn can convert all 3 allies.
Absolutely.
And we know that all of our conquerors of the high seas are already in the graveyard. At the bottom of the ocean, if you will.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Draw up here from Finley. 20 life deficit right now with, well, what is a hell of a lot of damage on board. 6 + 6 + 5. Damn.
Them numbers.
That's 17.
And we just took a cheeky look at the
God.
We just took a cheeky look at the top of the deck, and we know that one of them is a give no quarter. So blue in bin, blue in pitch zone. Sure, that tip the barkeep would have been nice to make a gold kiss rum here. Maybe swing a few allies.
Turning a blue into a blue engrave and 3 floating. Very, very efficient. Not going to be making a goal from this one though. Using 2 of those resources to be able to draw up another card, back up to a 4-card hand with 1 floating, discarding a Swabby. Oh, we're actually going to be using Gravy's activation here instead of the cracking of the gold. But cracking of the gold, very much available still. Swabby going to be played out this time though, using all 3 of those free resources gained by Chart. Now with a couple of cards in hand, the final of Arsgy.
All of Arsgy's committed now.
And a Tropeldani played!
Riches of Tropeldani pitched here, making it an extra gold for our Gravy player. Sawbones coming in for 7. Swabby, sorry.
There's a lot of these bloody dudes, isn't
there? He's got a big crew.
He's got a big crew.
He must have had a big ship.
Big ship. I mean, if you've seen Conquer the High Seas, surely that's Gravy's ship, right?
Well, he's the captain of the high seas, so...
Game 1 floating resource from the Undead Tunic. Yeah, Dead Threads. Gold bait hook being used here. Finley potentially unable to block. That is exactly what we're going to be seeing. Does fully block it. Does block 5 of it.
Down to
one of them with a golden tipple. Down to 1.
Now I'm sure Finley's over here praying that Justin may have a turn where he can't swing multiple allies.
Please draw 4 reds,
go.
please.
But I have heard rumor of a few of these gravy decks starting to play a couple of more go again cards like red sloop. So potentially other ways to convert a big gravy hand.
And he is slowly looking at the top 4 cards of his deck.
Considering his chances for the remainder of this game.
C's top card. Do I concede? No, not yet. C's top card. Do I concede? No, not yet. Something tells me those 4 cards all block 3 each. Oh my god, another chart!
Chart the high C. Hit.
We do hit as well!
Blue and a yellow.
Oh my god. It never misses. It never misses.
We call that winning in the deck building stage.
You can say that one again. Murderous Rabble. Hits another Murderous Rabble. This is 3 go again. Has to be respected here by Finley with a single card from hand. Or death. You choose.
These big majestic harpoons that we've seen in the new set high seas, they look pretty good, but not ideal on the blocking.
Hey, they block 3. That's all I can ask
3.
for.
They do block 3. 5 gold, a luxury bestowed upon Gravy himself, trying to dig our way to try and close this game out. We did see that Murderous Rabble on top, so...
Are you having a laugh? Reveals the 3rd murder... You know what I'll do here? Believe it or not, I might crack another gold to get a Murderous Rabble.
Now that is a Murderous Rabble.
Yeah, right.
A big Murderous Rabble.
Oh my god.
So we're definitely going to...
interesting. So getting the resources instead.
One as good as 3 in this game here.
Absolutely. You do still have the legs available though, so okay. Committing the take aim instead. This card has been stuck in Finley's arsenal for so long. Draw a card, discard a card, or discard a card. Sorry, discard a card, draw a card. My apologies.
Can be played on a 1-card hand, pretty efficient. Sawbones is the play from Grave. Running out of mat space here is Justin.
Flesh and Blood doesn't have a board state problem, guys.
Probably if you're the one with board state.
Ain't that the truth? Goldkiss Rum going to be created. Gravy Bones being tapped here. 1 floating resource available right now. Oh.
Crack the Goldkiss Rum.
Double checking what Goldkiss Rum says. Cool.
I believe we're just gaining an AP. Swinging in for 6 here with an AP.
I think that's all she wrote. Oh, that card is very expensive and does not block. Yeah. I am a Fidia. Unfortunately losing the game for Finley here, but what a board state.
Yeah.
Just gained by Justin from early doors. I mean, it didn't really let up at all, did it, Callum? I mean, that's just sometimes what Gravy be doing.
That is what Gravy be doing. He assembles all of his mates.
Yeah. And
if you do not have the means to clear, just get the gang beating you up.
You do just get like 5 dudes being like, I'm just gonna smash you to the ground.
Rabble indeed.
That way. Very good. Very good. And on that absolute bombshell, thank you very much for watching. Good job, Justin. Commiserations, Finley. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.